Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, so now I am working on the ending, the last few panels. I can't freaking wait. If you were with me yesterday, you got to find out who's behind all the nonsense and whatnot of what's going on. Really quick, I'm working on a Webtoon contest, and grand prize is like $15,000. I don't know if this is a $15,000 worth of comic, but gosh darn it, I don't know. It's definitely been a learning process all the way around. I've learned so gosh darn much. So let's go ahead and finish up the last of the thumbnails, and then I'm going to go into nothing but freaking drawing. Okay, so the last part of it, where we left off at, he's doing his exposition. His team was poking holes in condoms and putting him into the Cookie Monster. And he mentions, you have no idea how many condoms a U.S. sailor would use. But then again, we got her. We got her. And I think what I want to do is change it up a bit. This I'm going to, let's see. Now on this page here, it said, we needed to control the emissions using the woman, as the emissions would turn on and on the weapon itself, on himself. Let's see, I've got two of these going at once. Let's see, we don't want this one, we want this one. Okay, but we didn't anticipate this woman, she's expressed nightmares. Okay, I don't want to do that one just yet. I want her to be like the last panel. This one here, I'm going to take it off because, let me see, make sure and copy and paste. There we go. So it should be on its own. If I did it right. Let's see. I didn't. It was on the wrong layer. So let me delete this one. Oops, no. Made it worse. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. I need it to be on this layer. Bad habit of mine of not tapping the layer that I want to be on. So let's try it again. Okay, and then copy and paste. Now it should be on its own layer. Yep. And select it even. So I'm going to move that up here. Let's see. Turn this one off. We turn them all off. Okay, this one's, I'm just going to clear it. Why is it still showing? That is freaky. Maybe this layer grabbed something. So let me just delete that one. Delete that one. Okay. So now we should have, all right. Okay. So, we'll have what happens to the Kim Kardashian person. Okay, so, oh, actually, we'll rewrite that. Okay, so, with attack. Okay, so we'll have another excuse to draw another Kardashian picture. But I'm wondering how I should show it. I'm wondering if I should show it her taking a selfie of her last selfie. And maybe a finger, or maybe some fingers wrapping around it. Okay, no. Say kudos to who should we have? I need somebody who can squash stuff. I need to, let's see, I'm thinking of like a fixer of some sort. Somebody who would clean up a mess. Kudos to the guys in black for getting this picture suppressed. Or instead of, you know, like how orange is the new black, we'll have our team, let's see, the men in orange, because, you know, orange is the new black, right? For suppressing this selfie. And then let's see, we'll have I should do Men in Black, and then it's like we're suppressing the selfie. I don't know what government Men in Orange. I guess we would know it. Okay, for suppressing the selfie from Lacebook. Going viral. Suppressing this selfie from going viral on Lacebook and Fritter. Okay. All right. So he's still describing in his little TED talk. We got everything to the point where the entities would, the harvested entities would attack. Kudos to our men in orange for suppressing this selfie from going How about these selfies? I'm going viral on Lacebook and Fritter. Okay, and when she left, okay, okay. And I'm trying to decide what is going to be said next, because I don't want the woman to be shown until the last part. Okay. There's some women looking satisfied over here. They're like teens. Okay. That might change. Let me see. Let me go back to the story itself. The last paragraph, if it loads, because I was having a hard time with it. Yep, I'm having a hard time again. Let me see if I can get it to come over here. See, it keeps loading. This is all eccentric music on. There we go. Get that again and again. I'm trying to get to the bottom. Just let me get to the damn bottom. See, something told me to just frickin' download this, but no. Too frickin' lazy. Okay, alright. It's not letting me get there again. Well, I'm glad this isn't a real presentation. Okay, well, alright, so basically he's talking to people. Let's see. Talks about the cookie jar. Alright. Let's wrap it up. Wrap it up. Let's see. So, let's see how we have it. Okay, so we got everything to the point where the entities would attack. Kudos to da-da-da-da. And then we found, okay, come on. Okay, right. Here's this one. We needed to control the emissions using the woman as, let's see, okay, using as the missions would turn on the weapon himself. Our agents needed to get to her. She was the key to the control. we needed to let's see. To feed the emissions. Lest, no, nobody says lest. Or they would turn on the weapon himself. Our agents needed to okay, I guess I'll need to talk about her. They're the ones that poke the holes in the condoms to get to her. Okay, so we were losing control. So okay, and okay. Oh, we found a switch. We needed a lock. Let me do a whole nother. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna take these guys off. So we'll duplicate this one. Alright. So on this one, I'm going to erase the Cookie Monster stuff. Okay, turn everybody else off. And work on this one. Let me make sure I didn't mess up this one. Yeah, this is okay. Alright, so be on the right layer, Kimberly. There we go. Alright, now what's going on is that I need to put something in between. I need to show Coffee. They needed a switch to turn the monster off or to suppress it. All right. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna show this. We found our switch. Okay, so we have coffee. Damn it, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Okay, so we found our switch. Now, what I want to show is that a bit of a twist. Not that this wasn't a twist, but I want to show that she knew about him all along, or oh, okay, all right. We found our switch. Okay, so it'll be like a little picture of them together that he kept on his desk. I'll figure out some cute couple pose or something like that. Maybe. Like an I'm with stupid shirt or something. Okay, so all right, so that'll work right there. Okay, so here it becomes we needed to extract her. Oh, you remember the movie A Few Good Men? I always used to use that as an excuse to, as a put down for like Marines whenever they messed with me. So I'm wondering how I can use that little comeback. Truth, you can't handle the truth, and because it was Navy trying to get justice for this Marine, right? And I always tell them, you guys lost in A Few Good Men, and that would usually shut them up. So how about some Marines, going. Okay, so another thing was there was a play on. I've got Tom Cruise in here. Tom Cruise was also in the movie A Few Good Men. This is kind of like a 7 degree of Kevin Bacon type of crap, who was also in A Few Good Men as well. So like instead of Tom Cruise winning like he did in A Few Good Men, he's on this ship and he's losing to A Few Good Men. So what I'm thinking about doing is making these guys into maybe the actors that were in A Few Good Men, poking holes in condoms so that he doesn't win. That would be kind of funny. You have to be, that's some deep shit though. Okay, so we needed to extract the switch quickly. She was the key to control. Our agents worked tirelessly around the clock to poke holes in condoms. You have no idea how many condoms a U.S. sailor would use, but then we got her. We got her. It's like I want him to do like a fist pump or something like that. Like, yes. Okay, so with that, okay, so now I'm stuck. Okay, so we got her. Okay. All right. I want the last thing to be. Okay, so okay. We only need to reproduce. Okay, so I'm going to put him let's see, in her belly. Let's see, I was going to have him okay. Now my whole premise of this, I need to bring it back to that. Which is to bring, because he is, let's see. Okay, so the last thing I want to show okay, let's see, where'd it go? I didn't anticipate this woman. Now, one of the things that I had kind of as a what is it called, as the underlying theme was Pandora's box. Our guy is Pandora's box, the box itself, and in the mythology Pandora was given a box that she was never supposed to open. And so the woman, I'm trying to think of how to do this. Okay, hold on. I just had an idea. Okay, I got it now. All right. Okay, so we thought that now we had so we thought that now so now that we had both switch and weapon, we only needed to produce or reproduce or manufacture. We only needed to manufacture more weapons. Okay, so this is from the guy, and then this is from the audience. I'm going to move this down. Yeah, so everybody, the audience just uproariously laughs. Because nobody really appreciates, what is it called? back down here. Okay, so we're going to show them, and then I'm going to do this last bit. Make sure it's on the right layer. Okay. There we go. Delete that. Turn that one off. This is the last panel. Well, second to the last panel. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to move these guys up. Whoops. Another thing that I found is if you want to move your selection, go off the selection, click anywhere on this off the selection and move it that way. If you put your stylus or whatever you're using on the selection, it might manipulate it. So it's better to maneuver it off the selection. Okay, so I've got that here. It says poof. He says that the and then I just want to do something here. On the baby, like a close-up of the baby here, and then on the okay, so like I was saying, this is a play on you see, baby's got his finger. Ay, ay, ay. Just grab my finger. Not a penis. It's a finger, honest. This needs to be bigger. Oops. Okay, so before I was going to put like a little, like beads, but you know, we don't want to choke the baby because that's a choking hazard. Alright, so let me explain a little bit. Because I was just about to explain it and then I had the thought. Okay, so, and this is the end. Alright, I don't know, maybe this is kind of lame because it did go pretty fast. Okay, so this is supposed to be based off of Pandora's Box. Kind of what I had alluded to back over here and here and oops, back beast here mostly. The video game slash pinball machine. Kind of setting it up. This is like a Pandora's box type of thing, where all the evils in the world and stuff are put into this box and given to Pandora, who has this insatiable curiosity for all things living and stuff. She was made, and the gods and goddesses gave her gifts, and just to be weird, I don't know why Zeus would do this, but he had put all the evils in the world into this one particular box and gave it to her. It was sealed up and everything, but she opened it, and so all the evils were unleashed except for one. Pandora was able to close it, and the one thing that was left in the box was hope. And when she finally opened the box up and let hope out, it kind of gave hope to all mankind. So basically, the little girl is hope. The guy was the box, but it would keep opening up. Coffee was Pandora, who was the only one who was able to shut it. The other women would feed it. Everybody around him would feed it. It's been feeding him. He's been feeding, or the monsters have been going into him all his life. But it wasn't until now that they started to come out. So I need to put that somewhere. See, now my twist is that, let me do a thumbnail of the twist. Let me go back up here. Okay. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Wait a minute. Before I do that, And this is all comments from the audience. You know, so just like different comments and stuff. Anyway, now what I was thinking is that I was going to have Derek and maybe she's putting the baby down or something like that. We'll have her like kind of maybe breastfeeding or something like that. Okay, that's the end. Alright, so, I never did give her, see, her name was going to be Hope. So I decided to just change it so that her name is, we'll just call her Coffee, because she hates her first name. But I think I'll give her a name. I'll call her, I'll give her my son's middle name, Zani, which is also the name I would go by when I was on, like, when I was first online. I'll probably do that. Let's see, I want to put him in something. What? Alright, so basically how I'm going to end it is it was a failure on their end. We didn't anticipate this woman suppressing the nightmares. And then, so we thought that, oh, there's Cookie Monster one. I think this is the Cookie Monster one. There we go. Alright, so we needed to control the emissions. Okay, so this one has to come first. Okay, but we didn't anticipate this woman. I don't want her, let's see, we'll give her a name like something to go with Coffee. Something to go with Coffee. I'm trying to think of something that goes with Coffee, like beans. What else goes with Coffee? Creamer, hot. I'm trying to think of every Cuban. Something that I could give it to a girl's name. I'm gonna do a quick search real quick. Okay. Let's see. Ebony. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call her Ebony. Black Coffee. Okay. But we didn't anticipate this woman. She suppressed the nightmares. Okay. This is, we needed to control the emissions using the subjects to feed the emissions, or they would turn on the weapon himself, and we would lose control. We found that off switch here in Coffee. Something about her would suppress the emissions. Even traces of her DNA kept monsters at bay. we ran into a snag. She was a sailor about to go out to sea. We needed to extract the switch quickly. She was, let's see, she was the key to the control. Okay. Let's see. Our agents worked tirelessly around the clock to poke holes in condoms. Few good men, yo. You have no idea how many condoms a U.S. sailor would use. But then we got her. We got her. Yes, fist bump. Let's see. Let's see, cancel. So I gotta draw a fist pump. Oh boy, doing a fist pump. Okay. Alright. And that's Bryce. Okay, so we thought that now that we had both switch and weapon, all we needed now. Oops. Okay, so we thought that now we had both switch and weapon. Okay, so we thought now that we had both switch and weapon in hand, all we needed now was to manufacture more weapons. But something happened. We found a moral compass, and then there's like laughter. No. The emissions were gone. Poof. When this child was born, the monsters disappeared. We have no idea why. And then there's hope. Little baby hope. And it's like, what a waste of time. What a shitty friend. It says, I like the sharks with the lasers better. And this is why humans make unreliable weapons. Okay, and then lastly, cough. I am sorry. You know, I'm thinking of maybe breaking this up, because I want her to, let's see, we need a kind of like an establishing shot. make sure I'm on the right layer. Yep. Knock this down. And then maybe here. Okay, maybe a new place, witness protection, because he can't go back to his old life, and I don't think he wants to. We'll just throw him in another house somewhere, which means I gotta make another damn building. And so I'm gonna put a note to insert a house. Oops. Okay. We'll put him on the couch or something. With the video game. I'm sorry, I should have told you about my monsters. And then her giving him a little kiss on the cheek. Okay. Good enough for government work. I wouldn't mind having like one picture of the kid with the monsters inside of it. Okay, good enough for government work. Yay! Finally! Woo woo woo! We'll just pull her hair back into a fuzzy bun. should give him longer hair because he looks hot with longer hair. And we'll put a ring on her. He put a ring on it. Happy ending. Yes! Finally! I freaking finished it. Well, the thumbnails. So let's do this. Alright. So now here's the fun. Going back and penciling in all these goddamn thumbnails. Where do you start? Oh, shite. Okay. Guess we start at the beginning. Let's see, so I've got a lot of these 5-parters here, so I'm gonna have to put everybody in order. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that in another, probably off screen. Let's see, but I could go ahead and just start drawing all this stuff. I didn't mention in the ending that he had been sucking stuff up all the entire time. Wow. Okay. Alright, so I leave a whole bunch of stuff open with the with some of these other scenes. Okay. Okay, chapter 1, page 1. Okay, so this was the thumbnails of the establishing shot. I did all this, and I knocked it down into, I think it was 6 panels? I'm not sure, I can't remember. Okay, so let me see. Oh, that was him getting into work. Okay, so I really don't need this one anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one here. Oops. Because we finished the first page. Alright. We need to finish this one here with this one right here, but I don't want to delete that. That's his first house. I'll need to create a second house. I'll need to work on the exteriors of the other one. Okay, so he goes to work. That was page 2, I believe. It was this one right here. Okay. Okay, so I did these shots right here. Let's see. I did these shots in this one, right? Let's see, it shouldn't be fully colored. Here it is. Office. So here was the page 1. Okay, so I got that going on. I gotta find out if my daughter is going to color for me, because I haven't heard squat from her lately on if she's still gonna do it. And I hate to wait. Okay, so that was that one. That was page 1. Crap. I suck at doing backgrounds. Okay, I gotta change my mindset. I don't suck at doing backgrounds. I need to, I gotta change my, whenever I come across something like, man, I suck at this, I suck at this, I need to change my mindset to, I'm good at it, I can do this, I'm good at it, I can do this. Because if you invite negativity, you're going to get nothing but negativity back. Okay. I don't like this purple here. Am I stuck with it? I must be stuck with it. Yeah, I'd probably merge this down. I should just go ahead and color this myself. I'll ask her. I'm going to ask her tomorrow, or later on today, if she's still going to do it. If she's not, I'm just going to just like go for it. Okay, so there was page 2. And I'm trying to decide if I want to merge this together. So let me double check my drive here. So in my Google Drive, I started uploading the finished pictures. So yeah, so I've got page 1, page 2. So now I have to do more of this scene. There we go. This is page 2, I believe. Let me see. Yep. So that was page 2. It was good. So I finished that one. Okay. Alright, so I don't need this anymore. Close this out. Alright. Okay, so basically it's just to clean up these lines and stuff and go for broke. Alright, so we've got page 2, we have page 3. Okay, so that was the one that we just saw. What the hell, he stole my client again, Al. So I'll need an establishing shot of his building. Ah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so I have his building right here. So I'm going to I don't know if do I want to select the entire thing. Where'd the other one go? Okay, so she was pissed. I'm trying to think how I want to go to the next scene. I had a picture of the building itself by itself in one of these. I guess it really doesn't matter just yet. Okay, so I wouldn't mind working on these. Now, if I work on these, let me just take, I'm gonna do it like this. going to go onto its own layer. Unselect. Just copy that. Oh, wrong template. Now these, the panels of 3, let's see, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry about that, you guys. I need to select. Let's see, and duplicate. Alright, so I'm going to change the name. It's easier to change the name right here. This will be, let's see, what am I going to work on? Let's see, scene with friend. It was the meetup scene, and that came in. Chapter 2, I believe. Yeah, chapter 2. So it'll be chapter 2, -1. Okay. I'll be doing like 1 through blah blah blah. So let's go ahead and paste right here. What time is it? Okay, I got time. Okay, add, paste. Now I'm just gonna upsize this. Now he's in the bar. God dandruff. Okay, I have to have the bar scene in here. So this can't be page 1. Shoot. Oh, okay, I got it. Alright, so I'll duplicate this. Okay, so this will be, we'll do the establishing shot. What I'll do is I'll get rid of, see, my problem was I need to have the establishing scene. And in order to do that, why are you not erasing? We are on your layer. We have the eraser tool. Why you no erase? Oh, because there's 2, dummy. Okay. Oh, special needs, Kim, special needs. Okay, so we'll go ahead and bring this down. Bring that down here. So this will be the establishing shot with the bar. This is number 2, and then let's see, we turn that back on, turn that off, turn this on. These guys will go away. Okay, we're on that layer. Yeah, so for everything I thought I had learned, sometimes I forget. Okay, it's a place. Okay, so I'm going to move this back up here. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to, go back. Go back to where you were. Yeah, there's a lot of things I gotta throw away now. I gotta keep that for a while. It's chapter 2, page 1. Okay, so we did those 3. Grab that. I wish I could have them open side by side. That would help to be on the right layer. Okay, that's the right layer. Okay, so on this, I'm going to copy that. I wonder if I can move that up. Hello. How convenient. Learn something new every day. Okay, so now I can just like paste. And just kind of get these guys in the areas that I need them to be in. Now you got to keep in mind that if you have anything off the screen, it's all going to go away. So if I do this and let go, it's all gone. Let's see. Okay. I love breaking borders, even though I'm not supposed to. But you know what? There we go. Should give them enough space. That way if I have any thought balloons or anything like that, I'll have space for that. Okay, so there's that page. Okay, so these two can be merged together. Now, before I forget, I need to do the establishing shot of the bar. Now I started it here. God, I hate this image. I like the bricks, hate the image. Wow. Okay, don't sweat it, Kim. Don't sweat it. I'm going to go ahead and merge these guys together. Go ahead and copy. So now that I know that I can shift stuff around, it should make things a lot easier. So it's funny, you got to be very careful. I created windows are gone. Okay, so for this particular scene, I'm probably not going to have like the outside there. This one will probably have, let's do this. And I'm hoping it doesn't screw anything up by doing this. I'm going to create a white box. Right here. That way, it doesn't, I don't have to, in this way I won't have to, oops, yeah, that's fine. I won't have to erase the background here. So, oops, I didn't fill the box in. Genius, genius. Okay, there we go. And that gets rid of that background there. Yeah, because it's annoying to see, the lines of the back, the squares, get into my people's heads and stuff. So I'm going to start covering those up. Let's see. So we have that. And it doesn't have to be huge. So all of this will be merged together. I'm trying to think. Okay, this has to go above this, because if I do it the wrong way, I'll lose that layer. So all these guys get merged together, and that becomes the one page. I don't need to label it. So, chapter 2, 1. Okay. I'm shut that down. Keep that there. Still keep my lines. Oops. Okay, so this is like, hey. So like, I want him to surprise him. Okay, so this will be rename. Yeah, this is the exotic stuff. Rename CH. -2. Okay, so he surprises him. Now this is the buddy that's going to get him tuned into, he's going to fill his buddy in on what's happening in his life, and then tell him about, his buddy is like, he finds him really non-judgmental and stuff. They've known each other ever since they were kids, and no judgments. So okay, so for the next chapter, gotta keep in mind where I'm leaving off. Okay, so he's asking for the 2. Go back to the gallery. So I'll be doing this over and over again and stuff. So let's see, go on to the next one, and I've got like 10 or whatever in this. Now for each of these little chapters, I can only have up to 11 layers. So when I get ready to color it, or if my daughter colors it, she'll have to probably set up a whole nother template and then color it if she wants to use like a billion layers to color. I found that I use at least 2 or 3 to color. Like I'll keep the main layer, or I'll color directly on top of that. So it's not a bad idea to keep, like, because of the, let me see if I can show you guys. You can change the type of canvas and whatnot that you want. Go to canvas. Right now it says that I can do, well, this is just to resize. I don't want to resize, but it tells me what size I'm at. I'm at 2400 by 3840, and that is 5 times the size that I need to upload. If I tried to draw at the exact size that I'm going to upload, which is 800 by 1280, it would be way too small, too low res, and be bullshit. So this is one of the things that I've learned from watching another YouTube video. So this is the exact size of a page as you have to scroll. So like when you're scrolling, you probably scroll about half the way through this. And one of the things I could show you guys is, so because I'm not going to be using that anymore. I'm going to go to the Webtoons real quick. And this is the short story contest. Now, to verify that my junk is correct, I set myself up with my own profile, and having this like be a test. So okay, so when you set up your own thingy, you have to give it a picture, and then you've got your test page. It's not ready to publish, but I can view it. Now these are the pages that I've uploaded. You've seen the title page, test page, whatnot, and then you can test it in the preview and see how it looks. So I'm on a PC right here, and that's the main page. Now I've got to scroll 1 to about 2 or 3 to get through that page. Let's see, this is it big, and this is what it would look like if people were looking at it. And if you're looking at it on your phone, it'll probably take up your entire space on your phone. And so my test pages, each one of the pages, it looks like it automatically leaves the gap at the very top of what I've got. So having my template set up, that's the top of that as you're scrolling. So it seems to work. So there's that. And that's like the big size splash page, but this is like the biggest size, the 800 by 1280, and then this is you know, the 3-part thing, and it's still kind of higher res than it was. And I guess if you wanted to, you could zoom in. And that's 100%, which is not bad. Now, I also found that because of the differences between screens and stuff, that I might want to jack up the color just a bit, because it looks a little dull. And this is what the color looks like when it's all jazzed up. I had, when I brought it into Photoshop to bring it down to the 800 by 1280, it just gets that beauty going. It's just looks fabulous. I love how the tones are looking. This is a little rough, so I'm probably going to clean up my ladies here, my lounge lizards, and give her something that looks like something people would wear, things like that. But anyway, it's not a bad start. It's not a bad start at all. Okay, so let me get out of that. And I'll get out of that. I can't wait for it to go and do its thing. Okay, so here we are. So you get get a decent size, and I recommend 5 times the size if your iPad can handle it. Let's see. So that's not what I wanted to do, though. Kimberly. Let's see. Another thing I wanted to see is how many actual layers I have. Canvas information will tell you. Okay, so this particular one is at 4,000 pixels by 64,000 pixels. And I've got 264 DPI. And usually it tells you how many layers you can work with. There you go. I can only do 16 layers. That was the highest DPI that I could get at that size, I believe. And this tells me how many layers I have used, and this is how many I have available. So canvas information is your friend. Let me get out of that. Ooh, let's color profile. P3. Yeah, interesting. and then there's my dimensions. So if this was physically being put out, this is 264 dpi. The best thing for what is it called? Video, not video. So sorry. The best DPI for a computer screen, I think, was like 150, and if you wanted to print, 300. So even the DPI is still a little low, but the size of it's 15 inches by 24 inches. So I think it could be printed. Because once you reduced it, yeah, anyway, let me get out of that. I'm probably not going to print this out. Alright, so with that in mind, we'll move on to the next page. Oops, done. Oh, okay, so I don't need this one. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Okay, so that was page 1, duplicated. And put onto another layer. Okay, so I don't need that one. There we go. Okay, so there's talking, and then a few hours later, he's like, "Oh my God, you're really going through this shit?" He's like, "Mm-hmm." So, doing 3 at a time here. Now this chick over here is over here, and she's kind of like winking at old boy, and they're both looking over at, at her. His friend goes over, he looks at her, he goes, "Such a simple creature." Okay, so let's get to 3 at a time. There's probably a better way for me to show this one, but I want to grab it anyway. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Yep. Oh shoot, what time is it? Just to save you guys from all the boredom. Get the 3 there. Copy and paste. Go next door. Make sure I'm on the right layer. It doesn't matter because it's going to put it on its own layer anyway. Oops, no. Habit, hitting gallery, and then add, and then paste. Oh, it didn't copy it. I forgot to copy it. Anyway, but that's what my process is going to be. I'm going to go ahead and get it all in order, and then I'll show you guys probably in the next video all of it in order, and then just start drawing my ass off. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who are just joining, I finished the last of the thumbnails. The thumbnails are all freaking done. Woo. Okay, so let's see if I can get to it. And there are a shit ton of panels. Look at all these damn panels. That's a lot of damn panels. Each one of these is 3. Pretty much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops. 10. So I've got about like 10 panels here. So that's 30 all by itself, and that's still not enough to tell the story. God, dandruff. But I have to do this in 3 to 5 chapters. So wish me luck, y'all. I'm going to transpose all these 3 images at a time, and hopefully I believe these are all panels of 3, so this shouldn't take as long as the ones that I have to do with the panels of 5, because I was thinking, okay, so I've got 5 panels and I have to have a minimum of 30. At first I was like, oh my God, it's not going to be enough. I don't have enough panels. Now I'm like, oh shit, I have too many. But there's no limit on the panels. It has to be a minimum of 30. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I will show briefly. No, I'm not going to show you the ending. You should have stayed with me from the get-go. No, but my thing is to show, and I don't know if anybody can keep up with this, if this thing does its thing. Okay, so, oops, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. Actually, I guess subconsciously it is. Okay, so need coffee now. It's the beginning of the climax. Actually, I'll go through the whole thing tomorrow or the next time that I'm doing the video. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like and subscribe. Catch me on the flip side, and hopefully this next video will be the one that I'm going to have everything in sequential order. That way it's not you looking at a whole bunch of like craziness. I've got a lot of drawing to do, Lucy. Lots of drawing if I want to get everything to like this kind of level to where it can all be colored. And you know, the black and white doesn't seem to suck that bad either. Now that I'm looking at it. It doesn't kind of suck at all, actually. What I'm going to do is, oops. Trying to select so that there's like no lines in her head. There we go. And it just makes those go away. It was bothering me. Big bother. But anyway, but that's where I am thus far. You guys, I hope I see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. If you think the ending sucks, let me know. If you think it's kind of cool, let me know. And then once this is finally done, oh my gosh, I can finally upload it and just thank the world for their patience and all the things that I've learned. So you guys, you have a great one. I'm going to see if I can do a quick replay of what I've done today. Actually, the whole thing will probably be a massive replay. Let's see, we started with Climax 1. Okay, and then push the right shit, Kim. Okay, there we go. Alright, so Climax 1, if you guys can follow it, he is in his office and shit starts to get super real. He starts to fall asleep during a meeting and gets a little boner and all hell breaks loose. He realizes, I need coffee now. His co-worker sitting next to him sees the monster just as it's about to emerge, but he gets waken up by his boss while he's dozing off. But it's his boss that goes, what the hell? A lot of crazy stuff happening. The co-worker that was sitting next to him got her arm ripped off. Oh, that's what I should show. That she's grabbing his tie, and her arm is like barely hanging on, and then the only way that she'd let go is if her arm was severed. She hates the son of a bitch so much. But yeah, this is all me just drawing that scene. And it's not even drawing it, it's thumbnailing the scene. And then we already kind of went through Coffee's ordeal the other day. Let's see, needs coffee now. So he just got some time off away from his job. He's hopping on the next flight to, actually not even the next flight, sorry. I was about to push the gallery again. I was just gonna be like, fuck this. Okay, anyway, let's replay real quick. Okay, so he gets a scuba to the airport, and he needs some time off. So while he's telling his boss he's leaving, there's two cops in there listening. He's rabbiting. It's like, do you know where in San Diego he's going? The boss is like, and then he looks up available flights as he's waiting for his scuba, and it's within an hour. He's trying to call coffee, and damn, no answer. So the police are all over the place. They're at the airport, and another plane comes in. Cop just misses him. He's on the plane. He's thinking about coffee, and he starts to zone out and do zoom, not zoom. He starts to nod off. He falls asleep, wakes up, and the plane's like in a frickin' nosedive. The thing that wakes him up is the breathing thing pops down and hits him in the head. People are yelling, "We're gonna die! Oh shit! Oh shit!" There's a hand as he wakes up. They're like crawling all over him. But then this lady has a baby, and he's like, the person sitting next to the baby is like, "We just almost freaking died. Shut your kid up." And they're barely over Oregon, and they got to make an emergency landing because the pilots are shitting themselves. So he switches places with the person that's sitting next to the lady with the baby. That way the baby will keep him awake, and kicks him in the head. Meanwhile, he takes off in his own rental car, heading to San Diego. He's really close. And he's talking to his friend, asking which base that she's on, the ship is pulling into. And he's heading to North Island. And this is the Need Coffee now. So he's on his way to go pick up coffee or talk to coffee, whatever. Needs something so that he could stay awake. Let's see. Alright, and then we go into the coffee breaks here. Okay. So we are at the ship. He's outside the ship. And I'm just pretty much trying to figure out, or trying to recreate in my mind what the place looked like when I was at North Island. And they're still loading up the air wing, so he's in luck. This is a restricted area. He goes, shows his ID, signs in to the logbook, and Rover's called and told to go get the girl. These are the people that are on watch. Please have a seat. Petty Officer Coffee is getting fetched. In the background here, there's some tiny cop cars coming. They finally tracked him down. They were going to meet him at the airport, but since the plane had to be diverted, they're a little bit behind him. So a shit ton of cops come through. The Rover says that Coffee's on the way. He says she's coming. Cops are starting to gather outside. And then the watch is about to radio in that the cops are here, and they're like, no, he might get away. We don't want him to run. And so the cops sneak outside the shack. And he's going to wait outside, and then they jump him, don't move, take him away as quickly as possible. And Coffee's like, I don't know who'd be here. What's going on out there? I don't know. So the last shot you see is like the XO talking to the watch. She arrives 10 minutes later, and 10 minutes later, he's already in the back of a cop car getting sped off to San Diego's finest. So he's now in the police station. They're talking. He's handcuffed still, and he's exhausted. they're trying to interrogate him. He's not telling him anything new. And then they're showing him pictures. He has no response. They don't know what to say. They're saying that you're now under arrest. Now it's a homicide investigation because somebody died. And he's the main suspect because he's the only one intact. So he's in jail now. He didn't get his phone call. He's just exhausted. He can't stay awake any longer. He's a room full of men. And he wakes up only to find everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. The entire place is empty. And then, so he's walking through, the cameras are watching him, and he finds a phone. He finds his phone. Coffee's trying to call on her phone. And he gets a call. She's crying. He's crying. Oh, thank God. So that was that with that part. And then we get to his friend. I believe it's this one. Okay, so his friend is in Quantico. And this was... he's giving a TED talk, I guess. And I should call this worst ideas ever. And then he explains about the weapon. Basically, it's a bioweapon. Talks about the guy. It starts off as a psychological attack, and then it gets stronger. He's showing on his screen all the things that he's been done in his investigation. He's got cameras all over the place. He's infiltrated his house. The places that he has sex. Let me see. Let's see. The places that he sleeps. Places that he works. He's all over this man like a cheap suit. So, they even show footage of the jail of what happened, which was basically the monster efficiently killed everybody and everything without leaving a single mark anywhere. It became the perfect bioweapon, as far as he's concerned. Even the lady at the counter in the hotel was a federal agent. So he got everything to the point where the entities would, the harvested entities would kill, but they needed to control the entities because it would turn on the weapon itself. And he didn't count on this particular lady, Coffee, being the switch that they needed. But she was able to, he's explaining how she was able to suppress the nightmare. He's giving a thanks to people who suppressed a possible viral leak. But anyway, so he shows a picture of Coffee and Derek. And he is the reason that everybody on that ship is, having to sweat over those damn condoms. So he also explains that the monsters are gone. By the time she has her baby, they're gone. So they can't be, this monster, whatever, cannot be reproduced. And he says, we have no idea why. And this is all based on the Pandora's box thing, where Pandora's, the last thing that was released was hope. So here's hope. And the last and final thing is he's apologizing to her, explaining that he's sorry that he never told her about the monsters. And she's like, it's okay, I could always see them. And she gives him a kiss on the cheek and says, I chose to love you despite them. So there you go. So I don't know if this falls into the mind-bending or the heartwarming. Because the end is heartwarming, but everything else leading up to it is kind of mind-bending. So that is the end of this story, and the fun begins where I get to draw all this stuff out. condensing, revising, and then uploading. I might not even be able to revise. It's shiznit. It's a long one. So this is my very first webcomic, and I hope you guys enjoyed thus far this stream. You can always pick up my stuff at the very end to see the end result of it. Well, hopefully the end result of everything, or of the day. So you guys, thanks again for joining me. And now I just got that difficult cleanup to get everything in sequential order so that I can draw everything nice and neat. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.